Then last but not least, food will be served and I request everyone to like enjoy that. Now I believe we can start. I request Dr. Mayo if you can come and walk us through like this initiative.
Thank you, Nick. I mean, the last time when I was here, so we were just starting this concept of boot camp. And we had no idea. We are not a university, and we have some top universities there from Pakistan. And Dr. Shafe is here, which I have known many years, but meeting after many years. Glad to see. फिर डॉक्टर उस्मान गनी जिनके साथ काफी हम कर रहे हैं काम काफी अरसे के साथ and I'm glad fast से भी डॉक्टर काशिफ जो just met today but हुसैन पहले मिले थे and we know that काफी students आते हैं fast से लम से भी UT so I'm so happy कि आप तीनों इधर हैं because we really need later on to figure out अगर इसमें कोई दम है इस आइडिया में how to scale it, how to partner इस किस्म की चीजें and you know and I also want to thank Akir and uh, uh, sorry Temur CTO Akir जिन्होंने काफी गाइड किया project rail problem because I was very persistent कि industry involvement rail problems की होनी चाहिए hopefully आप देखें ये project से क्या students ने किया so this is like an experiment and मैं uh, you know इधर ही बड़े बड़े सारे हैं but I've lived US now 40 years California तो वहाँ हमारा वही है concept experimentation don't overthink just do it so ये boot camp was like that अभी कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि कैसे करेंगे क्या करें generative है demand है नहीं है क्या है but really glad team ने काफी जान लगाई and all of them are busy so this was another thing फराज अभी बताएंगे details करेगा the project teams were all busy, but they all took out the time, spent time with the students, and काफी, I feel very good about it. कि ये कोई चीज है इसमें potential. A lot of room for improvement, but it's a wonderful start. And उसके बाद I will, अच्छा ये चलो ये बाद में कर लेंगे. I will share this why we want to scale it. वो ये slide I think बाद में करेंगे. अभी what I would like is फरहान हमारी जो एआई टीम है साहा और जिन्होंने पूरा प्रोग्राम रन किया जरा डिटेल्स बताएं कि क्या किया कैसे किया स्टूडेंट प्रोजेक्ट ऑल दैट हाँ एक हमारे जो हैं बड़े मजे के जो कह लें इन्वेंटर की होल कंपनी is this legendary इनका नाम है डॉक्टर रमेश जैन फॉर एग्जांपल जब चाइना में नेशनल लैब्स हैं उनकी डेटा हेल्थ के पर Ramesh is the key person. All over the world I've seen at the top level, hundreds of papers, publications. उनका अपना center है, UC Irvine में. It's called Center for Future Institute for Future Health. It's all about AI, healthcare. So काफी इस किस्म के लोग हमें गाइड कर रहे थे. And that was one of my motivation. कितनी जो नॉलेज आ रही है कैसे widely spread करें. So bootcamp was one of those, thought process के. ये सारे सीख रहे हैं incredible and I've seen how much they have changed very short time तो अगला एक्सपर्ट होता है ना पर आपको कुछ तो ऊपर निकलना पड़ता है so he shared a video मतलब जरा सुबह थी तो he shared a video about all this क्यों ये इसमें potential है तो ये I think it's a 4-minute video अच्छा speaker
Hi everybody, I'm very happy to be sharing some of my views with you today. This is a great opportunity that we are facing. Just imagine you have a superpower in your pocket. This superpower breaks down all the language barriers and opens doors to solving some of the biggest challenges that humanity has ever faced, like health, education, employment, solving social problems, and so on. This uses latest accumulated knowledge not from one place but from every possible sources, and it keeps on updating it. Provides you insights into this knowledge. We call this Gen AI, or in particular, large language models or LLMs. Language has always been a very important thing in human civilization. Now we have vast ocean of knowledge that gives us insights to solve all kinds of problems. Moreover, this knowledge can be presented to people in their local language. You can use this for agriculture or for healthcare in any part of the world. LLMs are not just about sharing information, they are about democratizing empowerment. They enable new way of solving problems. What is more interesting and important is that they empower economic development and collaboration. And this is not in distant future. This is happening today. You can start using LLMs to unlock solutions that will resonate with your country's needs. But you can also be sitting in any country and solving problems in any other part of the world. LLMs are a path to economic empowerment and entrepreneurs. You can start thinking about spawning completely new industries to generate employment not only for yourself but many people around you. They don't require very long specialized training. You can be trained in few months to start using these tools to start solving new kinds of problems. I have been working in AI, computer vision, multimedia, applying them to health, but my enthusiasm for technology was never as high as it has been in the last 1 year. Even I, who have been working in AI for last 50 years, could not imagine how fast the technology has developed and how powerful it has become. For example, I was always very interested in folk computing. Folk computing was my dream. Folk computing democratizes computing. It takes away from keyboard to speech interfaces, to multimodal experiential interfaces. You use all the natural mechanisms that you use in communication, gestures, visual expressions, speech, intonations in speech. You expect the same kind of things to come to us. Imagine what it will do for health. Health is a serious problem in every country. We are making significant progress in making folk computing a reality by LLMs now. When you start looking at the way you can solve problems in using LLMs, there are two ways of looking at the problem. One is to look at simple conversational interfaces, but the other is conversational health agents. Agents are problem solvers. They use environmental data, contextual data. They use the personal data without sharing with the knowledge source like LLMs, like OpenAI system or Google system or any other system. All your data remains your data. Agents use their data, but they also capitalize on conversational power and the general knowledge of LLMs to start solving the problem. In my own labs, we have developed this kind of agent, we call it Xavor. We developed an open source version of this, we call it Open Xavor. We have made it available so that people can start solving these problems, first for health, but then take it to other applications. OpenSAR is not only about health, it can go very easily beyond health. But initially, we want to focus on health because we consider health to be one of the most important fundamental problems for all over the world. These systems allow you to solve advanced problems, but also they are deeply human centric. This is where we all come in. Whether you are in a city in the United States or you are in Asia, Africa, South America, you have the opportunity to contribute to this transformation. That means you have an opportunity to solve problems both for people who were unlucky and they do not have the most modern technology, you will help them leapfrog and become modern today. But you can also work with people who are cutting edge and solve their problems. So, when we start looking at all these things, one of the things is this technology gives you tools to redefine tomorrow. We can start seeing how, even though we are at the very early stage in the development of these tools, we can start solving problems. And as time goes by, we start solving more and more challenging problems. This AI revolution is not just about inheriting a legacy of technological advancement. It is about being beacons of progress, guiding humanity towards a brighter, healthier, and more inclusive future. The tools are in your hands and the possibilities are limitless. Let's embrace this movement and with the courage to innovate, let's create the vision to transform the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He's spending time all over the world. I think about the last 2 months he was in India, just scanning all around. Of course, universities like to invite him, but he likes to just observe things. In this healthcare, he's very passionate. I mean, rest of his life, he says, that's where I want to apply. I mean, the reason I bring that up is each of these experts we work has a personal passion. And Dr. Ramesh is one of those in 1985 University of Michigan, first robotic lab. They were competing for Defense Department against Carnegie Mellon. They were the ones who got the award. And since then, time after time, he's done amazing things. And in fact, IEEE awarded him, very honorary award, highest contribution in multimedia computing over 4 decades. It's 2 years ago. And he loves working with us, the young people, especially wants to inspire. So he was the perfect combination to guide us through this future. Okay, now, Farhan, please go ahead.
So, I will be going through whatever we taught in the bootcamp, what we were able to achieve in the bootcamp, what were the starts, how does this bootcamp make a student a better professional. So, talking about course content, we covered a lot of things related to generative AI. Starting from prompt engineering, this is one of the basics which is required by every even individual these days, not only software engineers, but in terms of how to feed the model with the right data, how to write, convey, how to convey the content, all sort of these were connected. Apart from that, vector databases. We all know about reticle augmented generation. So how do we use the vector databases? How to use them in an efficient way? How we can you can say split the data so that it can fit in these vector databases. That was one of our parts of the course. LangChain, a well-known platform, we covered that. ASAP was another one. Starting from data routers, tokenizer, chains, agents, which are even say complex concepts in generative AI. Yeah, so these were covered. Apart from that, we had hands-on exercises which were using GPT, Hugging Face, and other open source models. So these were the things which we thought was a differentiating factor. The reason being, whenever you step into the industry from a university, we need to work on these challenges. And this doesn't stop with the model development. It has to keep with, let's say, how to get the requirement till the deployment. So all those aspects were covered in the hands-on exercises. API integration, Hugging Face as its API. Now most of the AI is it requires a lot of computing. So for that reason, there are a lot of APIs available. From Python has one, GPT has one, so all of that goes in delivered. Apart from that, we did a lecture on traditional NLP, which were delivered by Dr. Usman Levy. So it covered how the language models are built, what is Bygram, Unigram, things like that, and how it is evolved into transformers and now it's 3D. Coding assignments were given, and lastly, we had capstone project. Capstone projects, we took some assistance from Mr. Talur from Evercare Group. He gave us the real context on where AI is needed in healthcare. We sort of compiled those things and we can say developed a few projects which would be achieved in a short amount of time, and we would share with the students. students using their own creativity added a few, let's say, features and use cases, and that was like how we did projects. And we would be having like presentation of 2 to 3 top students as well. Lastly, one of the most important thing which I even felt when I stepped from university to industry was this project life cycle. Um, like one of the things is like how do we gather the requirement, what is deployment? That is the main thing which an AI engineer or data scientist should understand. So we walk the student through all of the journey. We like encourage them to like develop UI, how to integrate, how to like work in group since working in a group is again a challenge. It's different industry than university. So that is also like student experience. So some of the generative AI tech stack, ChatGPT, Alpaca, Cohere, Bird, DeepI, DALI, these are some of the generative AI models that we use. Apart from that, Mistral was one of them, Llama 2 was. Apart from that, the LangChain, Hummingface was used mainly. TensorFlow and PyTorch and some students developed, you can say, use some of the previous models as well for comparison. So these frameworks were used. And lastly, mostly we use Azure, but gave them an idea about AWS, Google Cloud, and all that stuff as well. Okay. So what makes this bootcamp unique? Uh, we started the main thing was the international collaboration. And Dr. Hamayu explained, we had multiple sessions where Dr. Ramesh came, Dr. Amir Rahmani, these both, Dr. Amir Rahmani, by the way, now leading the lab at UCI since Dr. Ramesh retired. So top researchers in the field of medical, AI, and robotics were like, we contacted them, we shared the course content, they gave their ideas, they gave the feedback on the projects as well. Projects, as I explained earlier as well, were from the real world use cases, which were by the healthcare industry. Every day ago, we had a discussion with the CIO, Evergreen Group as well. Uh, Microsoft Azure certification. So one of the things was how to make the student like so that they are recognized for the world. So Azure is a platform. We train the student from AI 1 and 2, and more majority of the students gave the exam, and now they are like Microsoft certified as well. Microsoft certified AI associate. Um, yes, all of the trainers were AI professionals, so me along with my team, we were delivering the lectures. We have been working in the industry for 4 to 5 years now, so like, this is how we became the mentor. Uh, Another important thing were the soft skills and the non-technical skills. So we have a lot of like teams in our here at Xavor. So we had HR, we had project management. So all of these teams deliver different lectures. Some are related to soft skills, some are like how to effectively communicate in a conference setting, especially if we are taking virtual meeting, how to record a Zoom meeting, turning on your camera, we all are very camera shy, and this is one of the major things that which we face in there, like you can say, having meetings with foreigners. Ensuring proper work documentation and how to like what's the importance of teamwork and stuff and all that in you can say in software development. Non-technical skills, some are related to like how to score a good job, how to create your resume in an effective way. Our HR team not only delivers the lecture but give feedback on majority of the students on how to like, improve their resume. Project management, Scrum is one of the framework which is followed throughout the industry. Our project manager gave a lecture on Scrum, how to effectively use Scrum, and especially one of the discussions was like how AI and Scrum can work like, at the same time. Since this has been in my discussions points for a long time. So how to like define your tickets and use cases. We give them like an insight on that, work ethic, how is the collaborative environment. Lastly, since our focus has been around the medical industry, so we arranged a lecture by Dr. Shazad Legari on how to understand the medical landscape of Pakistan, what are the challenges faced by the doctors, how to resolve those challenges, and how AI can play a role. Since if we talk about, we had this discussion with Dr. Ramesh as well, the challenges we are facing in this like, subcontinent area, like, it's very different from the challenges faced in the US. So like, understanding the landscape is really important for students to deliver an effective project. Okay. So finally talking about the stats, we have received around 700 plus applications from across Pakistan. 100 students were selected based on their previous experience with AI, based on their resume, based on the degrees they are doing. 50 students were finally selected after you can say having introduced with them, after we even gave them for their creativity, since we believe that okay, at the university level you're not taught a lot, but you there's no limit for creativity, how you can use AI. So 50 students were selected, 25 were male, 25 were female, 13 have graduated, are graduating now. 18 attempted your AI certification, and some have still scheduled it, but around 10 to 12 have passed this AI certification as well. We have three top project, five individual top performers who were selected based on the assignments we gave them, the project, and how they have been throughout the bootcamp. Okay. So now we will be starting with the group presentations. These are some of the students who worked on this project. They again the idea came from the everyday group. They worked on that to use generative AI to solve the problem which is mainly faced in Pakistan. So firstly, we will be starting with uh, Ziad.
Assalamualaikum everybody. I hope you are doing well today. The project that we designed for this project, for this bootcamp was Fanga. This is a project that we did for this bootcamp that leverages the power of generative AI to create a chatbot that can assist doctors, patients, and pharmacists. What are the actions it can perform? It can suggest medicines, it can help in drug fault identification and general classification of diseases. Moving on, what are the problem statements? As we all know, healthcare industries constantly face with challenges, whether that be in the domain of doctor-patient communication, drug salt identification, or drug salt recommendation. And one major problem that is related to Pakistan medical domain is the problem of quacks. According to a recent report published by the Ministry of Health, there are almost 600,000 quack doctors currently operating in Pakistan, among which one third are operating in rural areas of Sindh. Why do people go to these quack doctors? In every rural area, there are RHCs, regional health centers. Doctors are not available 24/7 in RHCs. That's why patients are forced to go to these quacks. Just because these quacks are giving patients the medicines to the best of their knowledge, which is wrong. They don't have any information to back up the medicines that they are giving to the patients. Our solution to this problem is PharmaBot. We want to equip every doctor and every pharmacist in Pakistan with PharmaBot. Every qualified personnel. So when patients go to RHCs, till real help arrives, they can communicate with PharmaBot. They can ask a general question about their problem. They can ask them about their disease, and the pharmacist can guide them about possible remedies till real help provides. Moving on, use cases for doctors. How can actually doctors use pharmacist? Doctors can input patient history and symptoms into pharmacist, and pharmacist can list out possible diseases that the patient could suffer from. It can also list out possible remedies for the listed out diseases. And it can also help you discover different medication reactions. If one medicine could react with another medicine, it can list that out too for you. And moving on, how we develop PharmaBot. We develop PharmaBot by using state-of-the-art LLMs, state-of-the-art generative AI. We are using retrieval augmentation. For the data sources, we are using medical books and conversational data sets that were the conversations done between doctors and patients. Demonstration of question formula. Now we are moving to the demonstration. Even though there is a video demonstration at the end, this is an excerpt from the demonstration that we actually want to show you everybody. So when PharmaBot is faced with a real life case, just like in this case, there is one patient Alice. She had knee pain and she was prescribed that she should take naproxen. She took naproxen and two tablets twice a day for 2 months. At the end of the second month, she was experiencing internal bleeding. And one day she noticed she coughed up blood. She was scared, she was terrified. So she decided I should hop on to PharmaBot and ask her that I am experiencing internal bleeding. And we asked PharmaBot to guess what happened to Alice. And PharmaBot guessed that she had gastrointestinal bleed. And she guided that and he specifically programmed somewhat in a way that it should always guide the patient that they should seek specific medical attention. Moving on, the next demonstration is of how the pharmabot will actually operate in terms of when a patient comes to us. This is, you can actually find out this is how a doctor would get a reply and this is how a patient would get a reply. It can actually guide about medicines. If you ask about a migraine, it can guide you how what are the problems that are related, what are the symptoms of migraine. And this was an actual use case that was given to, or case study that was given to the pharma bot. How did the bootcamp help us achieve this project? Everything good about this project was achieved due to this bootcamp. All the technical support that was given by the Xavor team, it was our great support and all the mentorship. We didn't know actually how to get the data set or which data sources should be used for this project. But Farhan Bhai and Taha Bhai was of great help and they told us that you can actually search Kaggle and Hugging Face dataset for the all the information that you need to develop this project. Future roadmap, in future we are trying to shift it to a GPU system, give it more data, improve the level of accuracy. How are we planning to improve it? All the correct instances that the model actually identifies, all the correct instances will be stored in a separate database, and then later on they can be used to fine tune the model, and so it keeps on giving on accurate replies and deal the problems more efficiently. If you have any questions, we are taking questions now. The accuracy rate currently is about 60 to 75% because it hallucinates sometimes. But that is why we are not offering it completely to patients, so patients don't self-medicate. Yes, that's why we are currently offering it to patients and doctors only because we don't want patients to self-medicate because that's the thing in Pakistan. Patients like to self-medicate. The data size that we are currently using is one from Kaggle dataset that is actually doctor conversations that happen between doctor and patients, and one is one dataset that we're using to deal with the local market. Is that we found a good dataset that had formulations and brand names, or we can say trade names for medicine. So actually, Pakistani people can get recommendation or can actually input Pakistani medicine's name and get explanation on those medicines.
Quick question. Uh, is your system catering the point of when we have buy a certain medicine, but there are different names in terms of salt is same, but different manufacturer?
Yes, actually it
How
is.
your system help in this?
Yes. So we found a good data set that had same formulation but different trade names. An example for this is that one medicine, because my mother is a diabetic, I found it that way, is that sitagliptin metformin is a formulation, sitagliptin metformin phosphate, and it comes under different trade names like S-gliptin plus or sitaglumate. So that's why we found a great data set which had all of this information listed out. It had one formulation and almost like 6 to 7 trade names for it. So when you search a formulation, it goes into that data set, it retrieves different trade names and it can suggest you that. Because we wanted to cater that problem of that because one trade name is selling the same formulation for an expensive price and one trade name is selling the same formulation for a cheaper price.
And are you taking care of any recommended systems that can rank the quality of medicine as well?
We are not currently taking into any ranking system, but we are trying to cater of what the brand perception is, global perception of a brand, if it is considered good or no, or how many doctors actually recommend that brand.
In old days, there used to be a big book with each medicine or the salt is explained in that book. Still, that book is used by the doctors. Everybody is now. Now, how that book is different, your system would be different than that book.
to search, yes. So example, how an average time, how long would it take you to search a specific salt from that book, right? We converted almost 10 books into retrieval augmentation, among which three were of medicine. One was field book of medicine, and one was specifically on surgery. This part can assist you in different things. If you want to search a specific salt, it has all those books listed in it. Right? You search a specific salt or specific use case for medicine, it will go into those books, it will retrieve all the data that is related to that specific salt, and it will use that data to cater to your query. Whatever specific question you ask, it will use all of that data to generate a question that will answer your query.
Follow-up question, if those books are already stored in, and you are indexing or probably getting the data through indexing or some other prediction model, then your own system, uh, what is the addition that your system is doing? Just while the other system will just take the index values and throw the data out, and the doctor will be understanding, able to understand the medicine needs to be prescribed.
Exactly. If the data is just thrown at you, you will have to read it, understand it, and then generate an answer in your own mind and generate an actual answer. It will take all of that data, understand your question, and actually transform all of that data into an actual answer that can be actually understood. Like you don't have to actually think about it; it will generate an answer on its own.
Yeah, but if the target is only the doctor, then it will be easier for doctor to understand.
Exactly, but in terms of we tried different models, right? So in terms of GPT, it gave whenever you asked it a specific question, it tried to answer in a human-like manner. It tried to compare the colors with real-life colors that you will see around. But in terms of very fine-tuned models like Metal Parker, they give specific. They use a lot of technical jargon, if you say, that only doctors could understand. So we almost tried we comparison almost three major models. GPT, which was most human-like, Metal Parker, most which at most use the most technical jargon, I would say, and Mixture, which is a balance of both of them. Thank you.
Just to add one thing, one of the things that was also done with this project was the patient-doctor conversation. So that was another data source, which is like not exactly the bookish knowledge, but which actually comes from doctor's experience. So this is why this was a bit different from the lecture. That was like one of the things
That data, what is the size of that data? Is that which size it is? For this LLM needs lot of data.
yeah, so, this is why that data was already used in the RAG. So it was used as a RAG just for
Actually, the question was still unanswered, what was the size of the data? What was now, in terms of GB or in terms of number of conversations or similar kind of information? What was the size of the data? That was the
Did you remember the size of the data? But it had like I guess it's hundreds or thousands.
2,500 rules.
Yeah, it was
Of conversation.
2,500 data. So it was 2,500 conversations between doctor and patient.
So again, my question. So that again, 2000, are they sufficient for an LLM in this model?
It's not sufficient if we were to, let's say, train a model, but if we consider that it can be like a starting point, it can be used. But again, with respect to the LLM, obviously the human needs to be there, at least for the next 5 to let's say 5 to 10 years, so that we have significant data for all of these like the specialized models, so that human will be still is needed. Okay, thank you, Xavor. So next we have Talha Khan Sakil and Muhammad Raj, and again, like they are developing a system which is a clinical decision support system based on elements.
My name is Mohammed Allah Khan and we will be presenting the medical mind driven clinical support system. So, how will this system work? As you can see, this is a conversation between a patient and the chatbot. So, this a patient can chat with the chatbot and say that I am not feeling very well. I am feeling tiredness in the chest. So, how does the chatbot know that what disease can a patient suffer from? So, let's say we have a patient. He logs into the system. This is the central database and it stores the EMR of the whole system. If a if a patient logs in, his EMR are transferred into a separate file. That file is transferred to the chatbot, and the chatbot using the EMR of the specific patient can say that based on your previous history or and symptoms that you provided, you can have the following disease and you should go to the following doctor, like cardiologist in this example. So the main thing is it is not basically for the patient. It is for the clinical system. It will help to replace the conventional clinical system. Let's suppose a patient walks into the hospital, and there is a time that the patient consumes to know where to go, which doctor to consult, and this will reduce that time. So when a patient goes goes to the receptionist or whatever, he can say that I have this symptoms, and the system can generate a token. Let's say it says cardiologist. So this can reduce the time to register for a patient. Now, uh, these are the tables in the database that can be used to navigate through this database. It is very difficult for a doctor. So the next part is when the patient says, I have the following symptoms, the system generates a token which directs the patient to the respective doctor. That doctors now will get the EMR that was extracted from the database and now can navigate through that database. Like when, in this case, the patient number is unique ID 10,030. When the doctor asks that this all the previous past diagnosis, so the LLM can list all the past diagnosis of the patient. It will reduce the paper, but that was previously used by the conventional system of the by the hospital. So this makes easier not for the patient but also for the doctor. Because in Pakistan there are different problems and which require different solutions. We can provide the system which basically just says that you can take that sort or that sort to cure yourself. It will not be sufficient. So we wanted to make a system which will tackle the problems of the people of Pakistan, like high queuing time and less time for diagnosis, as it will, the waiting time is very large for the other people which are waiting in queues, waiting for their turn to get the diagnosis. So, how does our system work? First of all, get to know the patient. Who is the patient? Let's say he's a male Bob, age 30. Now, the name is not written originally like, as you can see, the name is hidden from the LLM. It will not be shown. So, it caters for the privacy of the patient. First, the LLM will check if what are the persona of the patient, like male 30 years old, and then will search for similar conditions which that kind of person can suffer based on their symptoms and their persona. So in this case, it says that he had uh, heart pain in the chest and whatever. So using that, it finds similar example where pain, where the symptoms are related to pain, just and finds the following. It will help the doctor find the right doctor for the patient. So this is the first step where a patient comes in and tells about his symptoms and is directed towards the right doctor. And this is the database which is used by the doctor to navigate through the database. As you can see, it is very difficult for a layman to understand it. So by introducing an LLM which can understand it efficiently by using prompt engineering and other things, it understands this very well and can answer any question related to the patient. So now I would like to call Sakib to continue.
The agenda of our project is first to define problem statement and main. The agenda of our project is first to define problem statement for our project and then explain the value proposition for this project. Later on, we will also discuss technical review of this project and we will also discuss about the outcomes of this project, and we will also cover AI in healthcare market because our target is healthcare market and overcome this question with the help of AI. Further, we will discuss about the roadmap of this project, and later on we will also cover about the bootcamp study what we have in the last 2 months. The problem statement is of this project is to develop solutions to address treatment decisions, challenges, and to overcome the cure. In most of the hospitals and most of the underdeveloped countries, like in Pakistan, people face few difficulties while they went to hospital. They go to hospital and wait for themselves to get registered and later on to find the right doctor for their treatment properly. Why we need this project or this type of bootcamp to solve such problem? Like you can, most of the situation in Pakistan in hospitals are like this, and this is one of the picture from Pakistani hospital from the time for which patients mostly wait to get themselves. This is the overall time and average time, like mean time of the Pakistani patients. They have to wait for almost 84 minutes uh, to get themselves registered. They mostly consume 38 minutes. And later, while the average consultation time of the patients in Pakistan is approximately 7 minutes. So this is due to overflow overload on the healthcare sector. So total clearing time for this patient in Pakistan is approximately 168 minutes. Like they get 7 minutes for consulting with the doctor. The other time is mostly when is due to other when they are in waiting in clinic or they are in GP to get themselves registered. To overcome these challenges, we suggest this bootcamp. We suggest this chatbot to solve this problem. Further on, if you discuss another part of
So basically, as my group members have already told about what we are doing. So actually, we are trying to release the time actually are taken for the queuing process. So by international organization, it's approximately it's every time to take one doctor to check 1,000 patients a day. But in Pakistan, in the urban areas, it's about 1 into 1,300 And in the rural area, it's about one doctor for the 6,000 patients. That's actually too much in Pakistan. So, how we did this whole project, we basically tried the same thing that was taught us by LLMs using lag chains and the lag process for the personalization of the whole process and the SQL database for its factorization and the comparison of its project. So basically, what are the main outcomes? What we wanted was a comprehensive decisions for the patients and how it should conclude, what doctor should it go for, what patient requires what doctors and what the solution they may require, so that the patient must have the enhancement in their facilitations. But these are some projections that were taken from an international organization. So, what AI healthcare was doing way back 4 years ago, and what projections they are basically looking forward. So, these are the basic requirements. Back in 2020, they were about using 4.9 billion USD per year. Back in 21, they were approximately startups that were doing 2.9 billion, and the organizations are rapidly increasing, and the cumulative annual growth rate about 6%. So they have the projections that they will be at the end of 2026, we will be consuming $150 billion less. So for validation, different hospitals will be approached so that they help us engage in the healthcare. The doctors will help us, the organizations, the staff will help us, the nurses, and all will help us in each and everything they can. So the future roadmaps regarding that will be to approach as much hospitals and as much rural areas so that the whole process should be minimized to as much less as possible. So the bootcamp will learning very much thankful to all the organizations, start from Dr. Mayo, Professor Sir Farhan, Sir Taj, that organized this, Dr. Osman Ali, who gave us lectures on the different things that helped us through all this project and skills and that we achieved. Thank you.
आपकी जो ऐप है ये किसी न किसी हॉस्पिटल के साथ कोलैबोरेशन नहीं चलेगी।
Yes.
साइलो में नहीं चलेगा बिकॉज वट एवर इट इज सजेस्टिंग वो आगे कोई भी डॉक्टर उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करने वाला।
Because in healthcare we have a very low margin of error.
जो डॉक्टर है वो तो बिल्कुल उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा किसी डिजिटल रिपोर्ट को अनटिल अनलेस वो सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है ये प्रॉब्लम।
देखिए, जब आपका पेशेंट जाता है डॉक्टर के पास, डॉक्टर का काम सिर्फ ये है कि वो डेटाबेस में जो भी रिकॉर्ड्स पड़े हैं उनसे अगर कोई क्वेश्चन आंसर करनी है उसके रिलेटेड, लाइक फॉर दिस पेशेंट जो लॉग इन हुआ है सिर्फ उसी का डाटा उस एलएलएम के पास जाएगा, उसी के रिलेटेड अगर उसने कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो वो उसका आंसर करेगा। और उसी फिर डॉक्टर उससे ये रिकमेंडेशन नहीं दे रहा कि मैं उसको कौन सी दवाई दूँ। डॉक्टर से मुझसे सिंपल ये पूछा लास्ट टाइम इसको ये बीमारी हुई थी, कब हुई थी और उसके सिम्टम्स क्या थे, कितना वर्ष था, या फिर बेड रेस्ट मिला था उसको, हॉस्पिटलाइज हुआ था, इस तरह की चीजें। और वो जब ऐड करना होगा ईएमआर ऐड, वही डॉक्टर आपका ईएमआर सेंट्रल डेटाबेस में जाएगा। मतलब आपका पूरा साइकिल जो है एक प्रोफेशनल एनवायरनमेंट में होगा, कोई आपका गार्बेज नहीं आ सकता इसका।
अच्छा सेकेंडली आपने कहा कि टाइम सेव करेगा आपका एवरेज टाइम इतना है हॉस्पिटल में रूरल में भी तो मेरा ख्याल है बिल्कुल साइड से
हाँ जी होता है बिल्कुल बहुत आवाज
अब जैसे हमारे पास
दोनों का
मैंने देखा कि हॉस्पिटल में जो आपका वेट टाइम है ज्यादा वेट इस वजह से नहीं होता कि आपको पता नहीं लग रहा है डॉक्टर के पास जाना है। वो वेट इसलिए है कि डॉक्टर के पास बड़ी जल्दी क्यों है चाहे आपने अपॉइंटमेंट ली है।
कोई और सिस्टम
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पहले आपकी क्यू की भी लाइन, पहले क्यू में लाइन लगी होती है। जब आप रजिस्टर कर रहे होते हैं डॉक्टर के टोकन पर्ची होती है, आपको वो लिंक करती है, राइट।
How we can reduce that queuing time?
अब बेसिकली जब आपके पास आप लाइक आपने कहा रूरल एरिया में भी आप अगर आपको कोई लाइक कोई सिम्टम्स आपके पास आ रहे हैं, आपको लग रहा है आप बीमार हो, तो आप जैसे ही जाएंगे तो वो आप पहले किसी से कंसल्ट तो करेंगे ना कि अब मैं मुझे किस डॉक्टर के पास जाना चाहिए। अमूमन नहीं होता कि आपके पास हो, लाइक कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट के पास आप हो सकता है आप पहले किसी और डॉक्टर के पास जाएंगे क्योंकि आपको बीमारी सारी सिंपल आपका सिस्टम ही आपका टोकन जनरेट कर रहा है, ह्यूमन नहीं आ रहा बीच में, ह्यूमन को सारे रिकॉर्ड एंटर करने पड़ते हैं। लाइक सेहत कार्ड होता है, सेहत कार्ड में आप सिंपल स्कैन करते हैं और वो आपको वो सारा कुछ कर देता है। इसी तरह इसमें आप या फिर सीएनएस की एडमिट या फिर आपने अपना कार्ड उसके आपने स्कैन करना है या आप घर से लिखते हैं ये सिम्टम है और आप उसके ऊपर लास्ट रिकॉर्ड सेव हो जाएगा और लास्ट रिकॉर्ड को आप स्कैन करेंगे तो आपको सिम्टम्स का टोकन मिल जाएगा। अब उस टोकन से आपने सिंपल अपने डॉक्टर के पास जाना है और आपका इसमें as far as इनिशियल डॉक्टर हमारा सिर्फ राइट डॉक्टर के पास ही पहुंचाना है, तो उसमें 99% या 100% सही हो जाएगा। और अगर आपको पहले से डॉक्टर का पता है तो आप हम ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं लाइक कि इस डॉक्टर के पास जाना है मुझे अभी तो इतनी ज़्यादा टेस्टिंग नहीं हुई भी, इतने केसेस नहीं है उसमें तो 100%।
EMR में जो डाटा ऐड हो रहा है उससे टोटली पेशेंट से related। और दूसरा ये चीज आ जाती है कि जैसे पेशेंट हमेशा अपनी मेडिकल हिस्ट्री सारी नहीं बताते, ये सही तरह नहीं बताते, लेकिन इस सीन में उसकी डाटा बेस में प्रीवियस मेडिकल हिस्ट्री वो होगी जो उसके डॉक्टर के साथ या उसका मेडिकल रिकॉर्ड है, उससे वो इतनी ज़्यादा बाइस कैरी ऑन नहीं कर सकते एक साथ। तो सारी चीज उसके ऑलरेडी डाटा बेस पे होगी और वैलिडिटी की होगी तो ऑलरेडी किसी का रिजल्ट है उसने उसको इनपुट किया होगा। तो ये एक चीज है।
आपका जो सिस्टम है ये वाईटी सिस्टम है या और इस करंट यूजर कौन है, किसको सिस्टम है, पेशेंट को या डॉक्टर?
Basically, your patients and वो let's suppose आप hospital here. I would add in my own example. I had medical issue for gastro. जब मैं पहली बार गया हॉस्पिटल तो डायरेक्टली मुझे डॉक्टर ने एक गाइडलाइन पे लगा दिया कि आप एक वीक ये मेडिसिन खाते रहे। अब वो मैं मेडिसिन जो खाता रहा, they had no idea कि मुझे एक्चुअली इशू क्या है। That thing led me जो मेडिसिन दी उससे मुझे लीवर का भी इशू हो गया, किडनी का इशू भी हो गया। बिकॉज उन्होंने मेरे टेस्ट को रन किए ही नहीं, सिक्रेशंस क्या आ रही हैं। एक्चुअली अब जब आप आपकी ईएमआर रिपोर्ट्स आ रही हैं, लेट्स सपोज आप हॉस्पिटल गए हैं, आपने जाके अब आपका कोई मेडिकल एज इट सजेस्टेड पूरी आईडी है पेशेंट की, पेशेंट का पास्ट रिकॉर्ड सारा पड़ा हुआ है, ईएमआर पड़ी हुई हैं, आपकी जो जो वैल्यूज आ रही हैं डॉक्टर्स ने वो चेकअप प्रॉपर्ली की नहीं, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान में मोस्टली डॉक्टर ने आपको ये प्लान दे दिया। अब जब मैं डॉक्टर के पास गया फाइनली जो गैस्ट्रो के डॉक्टर जो मुझे रिकमेंड हुआ आफ्टर 4 और 5 चेकअप्स, तो उन्होंने कहा कि आपने ये जो मेडिकेशन ली है, आपकी जो बॉडी सिक्रेशन चल रही है ऑलरेडी, उन्होंने उसे रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं किया, उस वजह से आपके एलएमटी और आपकी जो किडनी है वो डैमेज होगी। तो बाद में लेटर ऑन उन्होंने भी मेरी प्रॉपर यानी गैस्ट्रोएंटरोलॉजी के 3 टेस्ट रन किए ताकि फिर मुझे बताया जा सके। ये अगर टीएमआर से वो जो रिजल्ट्स हैं वो एटलीस्ट आपको उस डॉक्टर तक डायरेक्ट कर सके जो कि आपको प्रोफेशनली बता सके, रादर देन कि कोई भी जो भी इन लाइन तो पाकिस्तान में होती जो भी इन है डॉक्टर, अगर आपको बेड का देता है सॉरी टू से कि वो चाहता आपको पहले 90-20 एमजी दे देता है, आपने ये खाना है और साथ ये मेडिकेशन स्टार्ट कर देनी है, रादर देन ये चीजें और बहुत सी चीजें जिसमें आपको ये इशू आ सके। पेशेंट एंड हॉस्पिटल, ये हॉस्पिटल के वो
प्राइमरी हमारा ये होगा कि लाइक लैक ऑफ ईएमआर को टैकल कर रहा है ये इशू, और हमारे जो क्यूइंग इशू है वेटिंग टाइम है उसको टैकल कर रहा है। अब क्योंकि हमारा वेटिंग टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा होता है और डायग्नोसिस डॉक्टर को टाइम कम इसलिए मिलता है क्योंकि वो उससे पहले क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करेगा उसके रिलेटेड। अब वो डायरेक्ट हमारे चैटबॉट के साथ क्वेश्चन आंसर कर सकता है उसके ईएमआर के बेसिस पे, तो उससे एक तो एफिशिएंट भी होगा डायग्नोसिस का और बेटर डायग्नोसिस हो जाएगी। तो इस तरह ये हेल्प एक तो डॉक्टर को अपनी जॉब पे कर रहा है, तो डॉक्टर इसका मेन एंड यूजर होगा कि वो ईएमआर को कैसे स्विफ्टली नेविगेट कर सकता है। और उसके बाद जब ये सारा डाटा हमारे पास सेंट्रल डाटाबेस में भी स्टोर हो रहा है, तो इसकी बेसिस पे हमारा जो हॉस्पिटल है वो हॉस्पिटल उसके स्टैट्स आराम से निकाल सकते हैं। स्टैट की रिपोर्ट आमतौर पर निकालने में अराउंड 3 to 4 मंथ्स लगते हैं, तो वो उसको ये फायदा होगा कि लास्ट टाइम हमारे पास ये इस तरह का पेशेंट कब आया था, इस तरह की दवाइयाँ हमें कब तक चाहिए हो सकती हैं, तो ये स्टैट्स में बहुत काम आता है। तो मेनली ये फोकस जो हमारा पहला ये एक स्ट्रीम को हमारा हेल्थ केयर इंडस्ट्री को नहीं होगा।
वेटिंग टाइम अगर आपका हो रहा है तो पार्टी हो रहा है डॉक्टर से आपने वो ईएमएस का डेटा बढ़ा दिया कि ठीक है उस साइकिल चलेगा उसको वो जस्ट सिंपल डेटाबेस का आप डेटा लेकिन दूसरा जो है वो ये कि एबल टू उसको पता चले कि वेटिंग टाइम इस वक्त कितना है SMS या व्हाट्सएप पे किसी को
स्पीकर की आवाज कम
पढ़ने के लिए घर बैठा हुआ है और उसको आधा के लिए पढ़ने के लिए सुबह 8 बजे की थी या शाम 6 बजे की थी और अभी 15 पेशेंट है और आपका एस्टिमेटेड टाइम इतना है इतने बजे आए या आपका क्योंकि अगर वो वहाँ पहुँच गया तो उसका वेटिंग टाइम हो चुका है तो 2 घंटे का 2 बजे थे लेकिन अगर से ये पता चल रहा है जैसे भी अक्सर जो अच्छे बड़े डॉक्टर हैं उनका जो अटेंडेंट है वो फोन करके बताता है कि आप इतने बजे तक आ जाएं इस तरह का जो मैकेनिज्म है दैट विल रिड्यूस वेटिंग टाइम फिर आप अपने हॉस्पिटल बैठ के या क्लिनिक में बैठ के वेटिंग करें अदरवाइज
हमारे फ्यूचर रोड मैप में और हमारा बिल्कुल देखो डाटा नहीं आप हर पेशेंट का अपना अलग ईएमआर होगा। अब
तो वो तो वैसे ही होता है ना देखिए वो तो किसी भी आप मेडिकल रिकॉर्ड सिस्टम में जाएं तो उसकी पहली रिक्वायरमेंट ये कि इट शुड हैव ए प्राइवेसी।
अब जो कन्वेंशनल हमारा हॉस्पिटल सिस्टम उसमें हम इसको टैकल नहीं कर रहे होते, हम ईएमआर डॉक्टर की तरफ थ्रो नहीं कर रहे होते और अब उससे थ्रो भी करेंगे तो डॉक्टर को सारा ईएमआर भी इतनी जल्दी नहीं पढ़ सकते, राइट? तो वो एनालिस्ट की हालात की हाँ तो क्वेश्चन आप नहीं कर सकते आराम से उसी कॉन्टेंट में देख सकते। दूसरी जो कीवर्ड चीजें किया मेडिकल इसमें अक्सर इमरजेंसी केस मेडिकल
एक तो मैं जनरल कमेंट करूंगा कि since we are healthcare group, healthcare is one of the most booming technology industry or with the help of AI. और सबसे पहले मैं आपको डॉक्टर स्मार्ट को अप्रिशिएट करूंगा कि माशाल्लाह ये जो आपका प्रोजेक्ट है इस तरह का प्रोजेक्ट हम लोग कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं यूएस के मार्केट में दे आर द मोस्ट ट्रेंडिंग वंस तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वी हैव गॉट वेरी फंडामेंटल excellent stuff that's going on. No doubt, experts, mashallah, professor sahiban, engineers, they are giving input. I think it's quite excellent for the future as well. और इसी तरह के 2 यूएस के स्टार्टअप्स के साथ हमारी कोलैबोरेशन हुई जो आप लोग कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे माशाल्लाह इट्स क्वाइट वंडरफुल बड़ी खुशी हो रही है हमरा कि आप लोग इस पे काम कर रहे हैं और नो डाउट एक चीज का इसमें आई वुड काइंड ऑफ गिव सजेशन कि इन द पास्ट डिकेड और सो बहुत सारे अच्छे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं हेल्थ केयर के सेक्टर दे हैव started using their own EMR systems either they are customized or they are using some kind of a brand so ये आप लोगों का जो सिस्टम है इसमें एक तो नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग को आप लोग इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे यूजुअली रूरल एरिया से बात करते हैं या एक साइकिल वाला है गांव में बैठा हुआ है या इवन लाहौर में भी तो वो पंजाबी उर्दू इंग्लिश या साइकिल में कम्युनिकेट कर सके पर्सनल में कम्युनिकेट कर सके और एक तो स्टार्टअप लाउंज के अंदर एक स्टार्टअप है इस पे काम कर रहा है हम उनसे कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं तो दे आर डूइंग दिस so converting audio speech into text it's quite it can be done with high accuracy अच्छा फिर एक मजे की जो चीज है जो आमतौर पर शायद लोगों को ना मालूम हो कि जो हेल्थ केयर के अंदर जो डॉक्टर्स की जो एक्यूरेसी लेवल है that is not very high or 99% it varies nearly 65 to 70% ये एक बड़ी बात होगी और लोग हैरान होंगे तो with this kind of AI collaboration and into the system the accuracy gradually and slowly as the model learns it can be achieved above 80% or even 90%. If you guys can take the system above 90%, it will be a remarkable achievement worldwide. और इंशाल्लाह बहुत खुशी हुई अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आपके साथ मिलकर you are doing a wonderful stuff. जो academia professors हैं they have the basic skill. ये जो technology है, the vision है, तो इंशाल्लाह you can learn with the collaboration of the academia, the software house, और इंशाल्लाह हम यही और जो यूज केसेस हैं और भी बहुत सारे हैं कि यू नीड टू रियली थिंक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स कि क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, कैसे उनको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. टूल्स आर वेरी इजी नाउ. ठीक है, यू डोंट हैव टू लर्न टूल्स फॉर 6 or 1 year. कि आप एक साल प्रोग्रामिंग का डिप्लोमा कर रहे हैं, एक साल का, 2 साल का, अब वो चीजें खत्म हो गई. The code snippets are present over the internet, and you only have to identify the problem and you have to use that specific code, and that can be done within few weeks. So,
तो the main thing is कि हम 100% accuracy में check करें, वो ये नहीं कि डॉक्टर हमारा हमेशा 100% accurate result देगा. हमारा मेन ये है कि हमारा सिस्टम जो है राइट डॉक्टर के पास ये 100% ऑफ द टाइम ये हम accuracy अचीव करना चाहते हैं. तो उसके बाद डॉक्टर पे डिपेंड करते हैं कि वो EMR को कितने एफिशिएंटली यूज करे और अपनी एक्यूरेसी कितनी हाई कर सकते हैं.
Just to add on Musta's points, remember Dr. Ramesh mentioned something. जो contribution है उनकी whatever we start is basically support system so many things. और बाकी database को standard sources. अगर आप SMS using the LLM in an appropriate way, so it becomes effective. आप इसको मैसेज जो लोकल लैंग्वेज है उसमें जाए. हमारे पास पाकिस्तान में 36 to 38 लैंग्वेजेस हैं, जिनमें से जो एक्टिव लैंग्वेजेस है वो 30+ है, और मेजर लैंग्वेजेस हम 5 ही जानते हैं, ज़्यादा कुछ जानते नहीं. So if you can actually create an LLM that actually send this information, gives this information to the explain model, उनके लिए भी खासतौर पर ज़्यादा अहम है. वॉइस में या किसी तरह जो कि लोकल लैंग्वेज में उस बंदे को बोली में है, और इन अदर एरियाज में ऐसी लैंग्वेजेस हैं जो बहुत कम लोग बोलते हैं, लेकिन they need this kind of information. So that will be, in my view, that will be a very good contribution right now, because that is what LLM is supposed to do mostly. Very based off से की बातों से generate होंगे. चलें, thank you. Okay, my new model बहुत ठीक है यार, बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. Good. So yes, and I think for your Ramesh वगैरह में इंडिया में कर रहे हैं ना, वो कितनी languages. But you know, the nice thing is we have access to those projects. So Stanford or UC Irvine, they are working very closely in India on multiple languages. So India is a yeah. So they are doing that, and they are happy to share source code, open source, all that. So that's the benefit of collaboration we have. So ऐसा हो जाएगा. दूसरा ये अच्छी ट्रेनिंग है इस तरह का ना, आप लोग everybody has done this concept. This is कहते हैं एक स्टार्टअप होती है ना, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. ओह, ये तो बड़े प्यार से सारी बात कर रहे हैं. आप मुझे क्या पहले सुने हम लोग आप कहेंगे मैं मुझे बस किसी तरह मार दे. You know, they are brutal, and that's that's part of the training, that you learn how to take shots, and then that gets you prepared 100 and more, and then you then go all bade arrows मारते हैं. You get up again. And after about 50 times falling down, then you become an entrepreneur. ये नहीं होता कि मेरा आइडिया है सारा 40-50 जब हम मारें पड़ती हैं बड़ा कंपटीशन में कैसे होता है. It's very brutal, and that's part of the training, and we hope वो हम introduce करेंगे concept आप लोगों को. Videos अगर देखा आप लोग हैरान होंगे, and then those end up becoming best entrepreneurs. You know, हमारे भी वो है ना, वो क्या पुरानी कहानी है, बिल्कुल भी गिरते हैं ये उधर जो है ना, बड़ी अच्छी ट्रेनिंग होती है. So what you want to do is whenever these kind of feedback happen, promote more to listen and understand, not to defend. जितना defend करेंगे उतना weakness आप show करेंगे. You have to be listening more than just I have figured out everything. Nobody has figured out everything. Chalo, next.
So we have one last presentation for today, which is diagnose me. We would need a minute or so to like the
Oh, generator. अच्छा. ठीक है, चाय शाय ले लें भाई, आपकी बना बैठ कुछ शर्मा रहे हैं बताने के लिए।
जी सर,
हमारे दोस्त हैं, मारवाड़ी, चाय शाय ले लें। तो बिल्कुल उन्होंने डेमो भी दिखाया था, वो लैंग्वेजेस का that is not biggest problem. But that's very easily fixable. ये और सारा कुछ प्रोसेस होता है और फिर आपका डेटा जो model, yeah, physical model created. Applied में needs its own creativity.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zanali Nasir. Today I am presenting diagnostic. This is a this is a POC. So POC of an idea that actually the project aims to give a best health facilities in rural areas as well as reduce the weight of the doctor. Reduce the weight of the doctor. So the workload of the doctor reduced by us. In the later, I am explaining how. Before going towards the activities, I want to share the problem statement. The limited healthcare infrastructure in rural areas. So it is approximately to none. And second one is the availability of specialists. That if the patient, if the doctor is available in headquarters, then the specialists are not available for the consultation. Released in pure to demanding schedules that due to the large population which is situated in rural areas, so it is not sufficient to able to cater all of them. And the fourth one is overwhelming workload of specialists. So the number of specialists are very low. So it will help to reduce the weight on the workload of the specialists. So for the sake of information, over 60% of the Pakistani population resides in rural areas. Now the age is changing and the migration is starting towards the big cities. But mostly this happens due to the lack of basic health facilities and the educational facilities. So what is the most vision? The most vision is implement a smart application. I want to say that let's suppose the sea level water है बीच के अंदर या किसी फार्मिंग एरियाज के अंदर उसके अंदर ये अंदर क्या कोई पेशेंट आया तो बट वहाँ पर कोई ऐसा स्पेशलिस्ट नहीं है उसका बट इनिशियली वो कुछ वहाँ पर हेल्थ केयर वर्कर बैठा हुआ जो सिर्फ ये जानता है कि ब्लड प्रेशर कैसे चेक करना है बीपी का उसके अलावा डायबिटीज कैसे चेक करनी है जो मेन बॉडी वाइटल्स है वो गेट कर सकता है इसके लिए वो एक साथ का डिस्क्रिप्शन जो डॉक्टर उसकी पेशेंट की हिस्ट्री होगी वो लेगा और जो इस वक्त उसको डिजीज है वो उसके रिपोर्ट लेगा उसको एक पास करेंगे कम्युनिकेशन के अंदर कम्युनिकेशन पास करने के बाद उसको ये सारे स्टेप्स हैं पेशेंट डिजिटल हेल्थ वर्कर एंड जनरल प्रैक्टिशनर their medical history symptoms and vitals are collected. After that data collection, the subject data is included into our database system. Database system है इसमें उसमें जो प्रीवियस पेशेंट है देयर टाइम उनका डाटा होगा हमारे डाटा का सर्विस स्टेटस तो मैच करेगा जो पेशेंट ने उस हेल्थ केयर के अंदर बताया उसको उस सारी क्वेरी को मैच करेगा जो मोस्ट एप्रोप्रिएट ऑप्शन होगी उसको लाएगा उसको अलग बात करेगा कॉन्टेक्स्ट के अंदर तो ये हमारा एक एलएलएम एजेंट होगा मेडिकल एजेंट जो सारे लेट्स सपोज कि वो एआई हेल्थ डॉक्टर का एज वर्क कर रहा है उसकी केस स्टडी जनरेशन होगी और उसके अगेंस्ट उसको रेमेडीज और मेडिकेशन बताएगा उस मेडिकेशन को ट्रैक डॉक्टर उसको पेशेंट को नहीं बता सकता अगर इस पूरे वर्कफ्लो के अंदर हम डॉक्टर को एलिमिनेट नहीं कर सकते सो वो जो केस स्टडी एलएलएम जनरेट करेगा वो जाएगा डॉक्टर के पास डॉक्टर उसको वेरीफाई करेगा अगर कुछ एडिशन या अल्टरेशन उसको रिक्वायर्ड होगी उसको रिक्वायर्ड उसके अंदर अल्टरेशन करेगा देन इट गोस टू द पेशेंट हु इज in our health space in rural areas. So this will have the personalized prescription and proofreading और इसके साथ साथ हम जो rural areas के अंदर है उनको specialized health care provide कर सकते हैं. तो इसके बेनिफिट्स क्या होंगे इसमें improve accessibility कि मतलब जो दूर दराज इलाकों में है वो उसको बेहतर हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज मिल पाएगी और टाइमली एंड एफिशिएंट हेल्थ केयर तो टाइमली डायग्नोज अगर हो जाएगा तो उसमें इजी होगा कि वो उसका ट्रीटमेंट कर सके द थर्ड वन इज मोस्ट इफेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन कि अगर उसको लेट्स सपोज कितना ट्रैवल करके अगर दूर दराज इलाके में कितना ट्रैवल करके लोगों या इस तरह की बड़ी सिटीज में नहीं आना पड़ेगा उसको इन फॉर द सेक ऑफ सिर्फ प्रिस्क्रिप्शन या प्रिस्क्रिप्शन के लिए एक डॉक्टर से उसकी अपॉइंटमेंट है तो फॉर इंडिविजुअलाइज्ड केयर ये मतलब हर एक उसको जो उसको चाहिए इस तरह की प्रिस्क्रिप्शन या जिस तरह की हेल्थ केयर उसकी नेसेसिटीज है उसके मुताबिक उसको वो प्रोवाइड करेगा efficiency and overall prevention so it helps with जो दूर दराज इलाकों में या जैसे है न्यू हॉस्पिटल का अगर किसी ने विजिट किया हो तो उसमें बहुत सारा होता है और बहुत सारे लोग दूर दराज इलाकों में जो करीबी इलाके हैं शाहजहाँ से आगे इस तरफ के इलाकों से आए हैं तो उसको भी रिड्यूस करता है so actually this is another aspect कि अगर इसको social entrepreneurship के तरफ लेंगे जिससे हम कैसे पैसे जनरेट कर सकते हैं एप्लीकेशन की हम अगर B2C पे जाते हैं तो किस तरह हम उससे पैसे करेंगे अगर जो कस्टमर हैं कंज्यूमर्स हैं उनके ऊपर उनके सब्सक्रिप्शन बेस ठीक है वेरी फ्रॉम स्पेशलिस्ट टू जो स्पेशलिस्ट हैं उनके ऊपर भी वेरी करा अगर आप कोई डिफरेंट स्पेशलिस्ट की डिफरेंट पोस्ट होती है तो ऑनलाइन ऑब्वियसली कम होगी बट इन बैलेंस एंड द कवर चैनल तो फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज अगर एक मार्केट प्लेस को बिल्ड कर सकते हैं जिसके अंदर लैब्स वगैरह और फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज को एक वर्कप्लेस दे सकते हैं यार आप यहाँ पर आके अपनी चीजें सेल करें तो उसके लिए एक कमीशन अगर हम इसको सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप bootcamp learning में काफी हेल्पफुल था bootcamp ओवरऑल effective communication how किस तरह टीम वर्क में remotely we are all working remotely one from Islamabad one of the member from Islamabad clear objects and collaboration mainly the team work किस तरह communicate कर सकते हैं the use of advanced algorithms like लैंचेस वगैरह हैं इसके साथ जो उसमें ऑटोमेट करके हेल्पली प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स के ऐड जो प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट किया उसको एट द एंड कंक्लूजन की तरफ ले गए हैं this is a conclusion our generalized AI driven application provides efficient healthcare and access the gap together we journey towards the accessible and patient centric healthcare की तरफ जाना चाहते हैं और the same it's a video which is consists of which takes history, audio address and description and based on that तीन चीजें वो बताएगा डॉक्टर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बताएगा उसके बाद एडमिट बताएगा और मेडिकेशन बताएगा जो डॉक्टर से प्रूव हो गए डॉक्टर की स्क्रीन में स्क्रीन है that's all from our side if you have any questions please let me know
actually question. I would like to make a general comment. First of all, I would like to congratulate the whole Xavor team for arranging this bootcamp. We are probably not here to judge your projects. We are here to actually see whatever you have learned, recognize your skills. मुझे जो डिफरेंस नज़र आता है बीइंग एन एचआर इंडस्ट्री प्रोफेशनल टेक इंडस्ट्री में मैंने काफ़ी सारी कंपनीज के साथ काम किया है ट्रेनिंग कंपनीज के साथ जो मार्केट में आजकल यही बूट कैंप्स करवा रही हैं बच्चों को whenever you ask for their trained जो kids होते हैं जो बच्चे होते हैं वहाँ से बूट कैंप करके आते हैं 3 months to 6 months उनके जो क्लेम्स होते हैं जो एजेंसी के ट्रेनिंग एजेंसी के बड़े टॉप होते हैं कि हम आपको अपने बेस्ट स्टूडेंट्स दे रहे हैं हमारा 50 का बैच था इसमें से हम आपको ये टॉप 10 दे रहे हैं बिकॉज हमारे पास बड़ी डिमांड है और ये हमारे पास बेस्ट बच्चे हैं उनको जब हम लोग एवेल्युएट करते हैं ऑन अ फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट का जो हमारा जो टेस्ट होता है उसके ऊपर तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली मैंने मल्टीपल कंपनीज के साथ काम किया अभी लास्ट टाइम फ्यू मंथ्स बैक जब हमने ये काम किया तो I think none of the student could pass that test, even could not score 50% out of 100 उसमें. So that was quite unfortunate, but I think there is a difference. But I can see जो मैं बच्चों के projects देख रहा हूँ, उससे I can see they have learned something. They have learned something, and also they have learned how to apply in the market in the industry. Whatever जिस state से भी आ जाते हैं ये projects हैं, इसमें जो भी loophole हो सकते हैं, gap हो सकते हैं, which is understandable. Understood, but you have learned something, so that is commendable. Another thing जो मैंने आपका देखी शुरू में जो दिखाया गया था आपका जो रोड मैप था कि हमने किस तरह से किया इसको evaluate 100 applications और 50 बचे और उसमें मैंने जो एक और आपके करिकुलम में दिखा है glad that you have also covered the non-tech side, the soft skills, which is very important, equally important technical skills के साथ साथ. So that is really commendable. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Xavor.
Very good. Thank you. Now again, okay.
So now we would be giving an overview of like one of our in-house projects that is for pediatric care really. So just a little context on that, and then within the break, then we would have a break of 20 minutes in which we can visit the lab. We have a living lab here in this building, which we are having apartment effectively, and how does the robot operate there? So, it's being created for, you can say, we have different versions. One is for the house, for, let's say, living, and another one is for the care home, in which, let's say, a lot of entities are living and they are facing dementia. How do we assist the, let's say, nurses and the staff there? So, first we will go through the technical specs of care robot. So, these are like the key how
Starting from this overall, as Farhan has already given a basic introduction. So this is a generic platform which we have created. So multiple इसमें चीजें हैं. For example, और we have as including onboard this device, right? And there are multiple microcontrollers which we are using. So we have different sensors. So the aim is to have this robot somewhere in a care home or a hospital setting, right? So उसके मुताबिक we have designed this in-house with the specific use case of dementia here right now. So इसमें हमारे पास we have different lidar on that, and we have the cameras for the different AI models. We have sensors from so these are some of the sensors on that. Similarly, all the hardware which we are having on this robot is designed in-house, right? So that we can have more control over the hardware maybe in future when we have more use cases. So similarly, environmental sensors and all other sensors, they are all on board. So this is generally we have launched this architecture state of the art remote operating system which are being used in the robotics right now. So we have human aware navigation, we have an interactive care application as well. so which will be eventually converted into some sort of dashboard as well, so that the patient or the caregivers can interact with it. And so similarly, the other things, automatic locking and things like that. So these are all the technical sort of things in terms of the this dementia care robot. So coming towards this
Okay, so this is basically a data platform. Like how where does the robot come in? We have like a complete data platform that is designed on cloud, which is like recording such event, doing the analysis, and suggesting. Now we are using LLM for this part as well. So it starts with the observation which the robot is doing. It's basically passive sensing. You don't need to do anything. There, we have even automated some of the tests. Like that is one of the tests we have used machine learning for, let's say, approximating based on the walk, some other sort of interaction. Then comes your personal model. Personal model is our personical is a concept by Dr. Ramesh. Like it's a person's chronicle. So we record all of the event which is happening in a person's life. It could be from smaller events, which could be let's say waking up, getting up from the bed, in or going out, spending time with your friends, socializing, watching TV, even everything. And based on that, we develop this personal model. And based on that, like other some of the parameters that you got in measuring, which are basically healthcare parameters, like the time of interview, what was the situation I taken by the better from IC rate, what were the emotions of the person. So all that combined comes gives us a category. As a result, this platform can be used to let's say guide or caregiver, the specialist, the caregiver can let's say get an idea of how to deal with a certain situation.